All right, this gentleman here. I will. This gentleman here. Do you want to be on the? If you don't want to be on the channel, I won't put you on.
Matter to me.
Okay, all right. So this gentleman here is being so nice to let me talk about his Volkswagen, and I'm not a Volkswagen Bug guy. I'm going to just say 66.
62.
62. That's so funny. I guess 66 on the Chevy Impala over there, and there's a 62.
Oh, got them backwards.
So, all right.
62 Bug.
Right.
Started as a nice car, original pans.
Right.
The doors have been replaced, but the rest of it's all was an original car. Somebody painted it back in the 90s.
Okay, so tell us though about the original engine. Was it air-cooled? How big was that engine?
There's a air-cooled 1.3 that I think was 39 horsepower. So that came out, and it was about 380 pounds.
Okay, so let's clarify something right now. You did all this,
Yes.
or somebody else did?
No, I did all this.
Okay, so
I
all
did
right.
all the suspension work, brake work, EV. This is the 4th EV I've done.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry to cut you off.
Fine. Motor's 173 foot-pounds of torque, now probably 3 times the one that I pulled out. And it runs Tesla modules. So I got 4 Tesla battery modules behind the seat, and then 2 up front in the box where the gas tank used to be.
Okay.
So I get about 120 miles range, depending on how you drive.
So what's the kilowatt battery size?
It's
60.
the pack is probably about 32 to 33 kilowatt hours, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty good for that. That range. That's pretty respectable.
Yeah, this came in when I finished it. It weighs 1850, so it's not that much heavier than it was. It was 1640, I think.
Okay.
So I put about 220 pounds on it.
All right. So this electric motor generator, basically, right?
Either way, when you're off of the gas, it's a generator. Regens
Okay.
juice back to the batteries.
Right.
When you're on the gas, it's a motor. So it's a AC motor that has regen ability. So it's a generator and a motor. Yes.
Is this a 12-volt 240 system?
This is, well, I do have 12-volt power to power everything small.
Right.
And that is my converter for high voltage to charge a 12-volt battery.
Okay.
It runs off of, this motor will run anywhere from like 175 down to 130 volts.
Okay.
And I run it, it's 150 max volts.
All right.
And I run it down to maybe 100 and, usually not too much slower than 135 or so, but it'll go a little bit further than that.
All right. Now, how long ago did you do this?
I finished this one probably 4 months ago.
Wow.
And I did a VW thing before that, a 914 before that, and a 911 Porsche.
So it makes it sound like you're doing these and you sell them or you keep them?
They're usually 4 people. This one's for a friend of mine. It's going to Arlington, and then I'll start another one.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you do videos of how you do this stuff?
I do not. I'm a one-man show.
Wow, because for me, I always wanted to make a YouTube channel. Always thought that my YouTube channel would be really cool to do this. Show you taking apart an ICE vehicle.
Right.
Because my YouTube channel is called Ice Age.
Okay.
Which means internal combustion engine age. It's being changed to EV age.
Oh, wow.
And I talk about that a lot.
I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
And so it's called Ice Age TV. And for me, it's really cool that I think it'd be neat to watch somebody, like you that takes apart and then shows somebody else how to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I got an MGTD right now, but it's almost done.
Right.
But
Let's go up here.
I would love for somebody to take some video if you wanted to.
Right. Well, you know what?
Where are you located?
I'm here just up the road here, right here in this area, Leesburg.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where are you doing the work?
The EV stuff I do it at my house in Purcell, but I also have a shop in Winchester where I do LS conversions.
Okay, so your Purcellville house, you do the EV. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would come over to your house and I would video you do some of this.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that would be a really cool thing because I talk about, here's the challenge. We have the anti-EV people, okay? Because the implications, wow. That little Chevy Blazer is a lot of fun right there. So people resist the EV age because they're being told what to do.
Right, exactly.
But I tell people all the time, the dynamics of what's being created is incredible. I mean, it's such a cool thing.
Right. And my thought on it is, I don't do it to necessarily be
the green agenda person.
Yeah, and that's not my agenda.
Right.
It's not, you know, I'm not saving the planet. I'm not doing it because it's cheaper and gas is more expensive than the conversion.
Right.
It's just fun.
Right.
It's fun. And you
Yeah.
can fly around on this. It doesn't make any noise. You're not offending any neighbors.
Right.
You can, you know, it honestly, it's just a lot of fun. And, you know, now this thing will do, you know, as fast as you want to go on the highway, and it's stable with some weight in the front, and it,
Yeah.
you know, it's just,
So-
it's a fun car.
So what is this?
This here is two Tesla modules in here.
So what's the
with
Tesla modules all about? Modulating the power, the 175.
Well, a Tesla battery pack typically has 16 modules in it that are all linked together. So a module is a manageable size battery,
Okay.
which is about 50 pounds and about this big.
So you're saying that's what's in there?
So there's 2 of those in there, and there's 4 of them behind the seat in a box.
Right, because the new, like I have the new F-150 Lightning truck, and I have the new Ford Mustang Mach-E. So the infrastructure of those is the big flat pack underneath the
right.
truck.
And
Or
so
the car.
I take that whole pack off of the Tesla and peel it open and pull the individual modules out because they're more packageable for this.
Okay, so here's a question. Is it these cell batteries all soldered together? Is that kind of what it looks like?
That is kind of what it looks like.
Okay, all right.
It's not what it is,
Right.
But it's kind of what it looks like. But they're
Okay.
they're lithium batteries that are
Right.
That are I think there's 777 of them in a cell.
Okay, so
In a module.
So you know how to take apart that architecture without killing yourself.
I
because
don't take apart the modules. I leave them all whole. I don't take the individual cells out.
well, no, I'm saying when you take that battery pack,
Yes.
that's the sled of the vehicle. You
Yeah.
take and gut that, or somebody else guts it for
I
you.
do that, yeah.
And you know how to do it without having. How many volts does that battery pack have in it? If you ever,
400. When you
yeah.
start, it's 400.
Okay.
Each module is about 25 volts.
Yeah, I saw on one of the TV shows like guys ripped one apart. You got to be really. They had a Tesla engineer expert there to help these guys on one of these, car shows
Yeah.
on how to properly remove that
Right.
from that vehicle. So,
Yeah.
how do you find the Tesla battery pack? How do you
Well,
get a hold of one of those?
The last one I got was from a car that was smashed up in transport. And so the roof and everything was smashed in.
Right.
And so it ended up being parted out.
Well, so you know the story of the guy in Connecticut or wherever up north that years ago took apart Teslas and Tesla sued him because he was trying to figure out everything about a Tesla. So today, Tesla's not as aggressive on that when you take one.
For one, every single piece of that information's online.
Okay.
So I don't have to figure anything out.
Okay.
Everybody's already figured everything out for me.
Okay.
And I'm just following suit.
Okay.
But I've been a mechanic my whole life.
All right.
So I know a good bit about safety from when Priuses originally came out. And
Right.
had training on them, and I've had training on EV Volkswagens.
Okay.
And so I'm familiar with safety,
All right. So you're basically focused on finding Tesla battery packs over somebody else's battery
I
pack.
prefer to use the Tesla over LG Chem for the Hyper 9 motors because the voltage that they run at is very good for 5 to 7 Tesla modules, which fit in there very nicely. And
So-
Tesla modules are still the most power per pound that you can get.
Is this an NMC or NCM, nickel
Yeah.
carbonized magnesium?
Well, they're all a variety of lithium based. The newer Tesla batteries are using iron and getting away from
LPS.
cobalt. Yeah.
The lithium phosphate iron.
Yeah.
Right.
But the older ones still are lithium and cobalt.
Which do you like?
Well, I haven't seen the new ones.
Okay,
I
'cause
think those new ones are like Model 3 ones, so they're the big long modules.
Well,
and I don't-
right,
so,
right.
For ease of use, I wouldn't say but for ease of use and price, I use the older Model S modules.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So your next project is the same. You have a formula now that you know how to gut the battery. You know how many modules to take to get X amount of kilowatts. So what's the most kilowatts you've put in any vehicle?
I did a Hyper 9 HV like this with 7 modules, so that was maybe 30. And I used the 6.4 kilowatt modules, the slightly more capacity ones, although the same size.
Yeah.
And so I think that thing ended up being maybe 38 kilowatt hours, I think, somewhere in there.
Okay. So, I mean, to accomplish, 60 or 70, it's the room. Is that your challenge?
yeah. And
It's the
your
dynamics of the
It's-
old architecture of a car
Yeah.
that you can't do a sled battery underneath
Well, it's just
of,
not safe.
battery
Yeah,
back.
it's just not safe to do it on
Right.
something that's low to the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. See,
But you know, a vintage truck, which I think is a direction that have some interest in.
That'd be cool. Right.
Has room for the whole Tesla pad.
Right.
So now I can use a whole drop-in Tesla rear subframe, 'cause it's the right width for a truck. I mean,
Right.
Very wide.
Okay.
And then I'll have room to put a whole pack in it. So that'll be, of course, it's more expensive, but then you'll have the range, the power.
All right.
And
So let's do this, because I'm going to cut this video off in a second. Let's just look at the car a little bit more, and you and I will talk all day. So let's look at the interior. So did you redo the interior?
Yeah, a lot of it was good. The only thing I did is recovered the seats.
Okay,
and I put seat heaters in.
So this is what's intriguing to me. It's a stick shift, or is it a gear automatic?
No, it's the regular 4-speed that was in the car.
Wow, that you interfaced with that.
Yeah, you get an adapter and the motor goes up right. It's actually the simplest way to do a conversion.
Wow.
It is. It's on these. It's the simplest way to do a conversion.
That is so cool.
And you know, you have to use a pretty hefty clutch in it because you can burn up the clutch. But this guy in particular wanted something super simple, and he didn't want anything obvious to look electric. So if you come on this side,
right.
The only thing that stands out is the 1 gauge, which gives you your range and your pack voltage.
Oh,
and
that's really cool.
Everything you need to know. But this is your direction. So you pull out to the first, and it's reverse, and the red light will come on. You pull to the second, it's drive, and the green light will come on for D. And so that's all you have for controls is different than a Volkswagen.
Wow.
So it looks like a Volkswagen.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So you put this on.
I did put that on.
Okay.
And but the car was painted and pinstriped when I got it.
So is the car, you got a really good shell to work with.
A great original pan car.
That was the deal.
Clean, yeah.
As you told guys, like, hey, I just can't do all this stuff for you. Wow, this is so cool. All right, so look, we're talking a long time. I'm going to wrap it up there. You and I keep on talking. Thank you so much for your information. And are you looking for people to reach out to you to get more work? You are?
Yeah, you can at info@twistedvoltage.com.
Okay, so I just saw it right here in this piece of paper, right? So what I'll do is I'll take a picture of that to show on the channel.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's perfect.
All right.